Okay. So now everybody likes Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, right? Welcome back, my friends, to another video here on the channel. No spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home. Don't worry, haven't even seen it yet. But there's certain things that we're going to talk about that are very obvious regardless of whether you've seen the movie or not. Obviously, like I said, no spoilers. Please avoid spoilers in the comment section below. Now, when I first started off this channel, it was just going to be solely 100% a reactionary channel. But I'm a nerd, okay? I love comics, I love movies, I love TV. I don't want to just react to trailers. I want to do more of like talking about them as well, reviewing different things like that. I hope you guys are into that. Again, this channel's still young and fresh. If maybe you know me from my gaming channels, which are a lot older and have grown more of an audience. But this is a channel so I could just talk about everything else outside of gaming. And sometimes maybe gaming certain things that maybe wouldn't go on the gaming channel. Or yeah, anyways, forget that. The point is, these movies, okay? Andrew Garfield's The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, listen, with Spider-Man No Way Home, okay, this is a minor spoiler only from the trailers. So this is only a spoiler if you haven't watched the trailers. And even then, this is not really a spoiler from the trailers. Even then, it's more like, I guess, if you haven't seen any of Phase 4, any of this new saga at all. But basically, this whole new saga is built around the multiverse, right? It's built on all these different variants like we've seen in Loki. It's built on all of these different kinds of universes that are crossing. And with that, you have the opportunity, whether they do this in Spider-Man No Way Home or not, you know, who knows, right? Who knows? The point being is that opens the door to be able to bring, whether they have in the past or not, other characters from other universes, right? So, for example, you could bring in other Spider-Mans. You could bring in Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. You could bring in Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. You could bring in all the characters from their universes. You could bring other characters from other universes into their universes. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know if you follow that part. Basically, what I mean by that is in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, we've seen the unfortunate death of Gwen Stacy, which is heavily inspired by the 1973 comic, The Death of Gwen Stacy, which I actually only recently been reading through, and it's crazy, dude. It's a really good comic, so definitely highly recommend that. You can buy it for like $3 on Marvel Comics or Comixology or whatever. Highly recommend checking that out, but it's a great story arc. So with the death of Gwen, how do you bring back Gwen? How could you bring back Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy? You could very easily do that. And this is something I want to get a little bit more into in a different topic, maybe, possibly. But the multiverse allows that. But we're talking about the Spider-Man movies, okay? The Spider-Man movies with Andrew Garfield specifically. The Amazing Spider-Man. And the potential for bringing him back for a third movie. Now, there's been rumors going around and fans petitioning for it for The Amazing Spider-Man 3 to get made, which is kind of crazy to me because, like, I was one of the few people that absolutely adored these two movies. I actually just recently watched them again, like 3 days before the time of recording this with my family, and it's just to me, they're great movies, okay? And we're going to talk about that in a second. But the interesting thing is The Amazing Spider-Man 2 technically flopped, which is kind of crazy. It apparently barely passed $200 million in North America. If you look at Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it a 52%. That's bad. The audience gave it a 64%. Still bad. It's crazy to me. I don't even understand. First of all, forget everything that's recently kind of come up. The new love for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Forget that for a second. How on earth does that movie get such a bad rate? And now look, maybe I'm alone here, but I thought that movie was amazing. No pun intended. Maybe a little bit of pun intended. I thought it was absolutely incredible. I thought it was a great movie. Recently watching it again, I mean, dude, it's heavy. It's dark. It's heavy. Some people felt like they crammed in too much stuff into that universe, or not into that universe, but into that movie, because you had Electro, you had Harry turning into the Goblin, you had a quick sneak peek of Rhino at the end, which honestly is like, that doesn't even really count. That's just kind of like a teaser for what was to come. And right before Harry turned into the Goblin, we seen the whole kind of what was it called again? It was like the secret gosh, I forget what it was called. It was like the secret area. I think it was called secret missions or secret projects or something like that in the basement. And down there, you've seen a bunch of stuff. You've seen Vulture's wings. You've seen Doc Ock's arms, I guess is what you'd call them, tentacles, whatever you would call them. You've seen a bunch of stuff down there. So the rumor was that the next Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 3, was going to be kind of a Sinister 6 type of movie that would have had the Green Goblin, right? We would have had Kraven the Hunter, of course, Rhino, which we've seen Vulture's wings, Mysterio, right? And Doc Ock. We would have had those 6, apparently. The other rumors were that MJ was going to be the primary love interest of Peter Parker. I don't know if it's going to be in the 3rd movie or maybe the 4th movie, because here's the thing. They were planning 2, and I'm going to read that in a second. J.K. Simmons was actually going to return as J. Jonah Jameson. Again, these are just rumors that they had. Venom may have appeared, all that. The film was going to focus on Peter recovering from Gwen's death, which obviously we've seen a lot of at the end of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. All this crazy stuff, right? All this crazy stuff. Now, before The Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out, before Sony seen that it flopped, which again, I can't believe it flopped, man. It's crazy to me. It was such great movies. Before that, Sony had already announced that The Amazing Spider-Man 3 would be releasing June 10th, 2016. And the Amazing Spider-Man 4, yes, they had up to 4 planned, would release May 4th, 2018. We had 2 more Amazing Spider-Mans planned. Guys, we would have had 2 more if more people would have supported it, but instead everybody hated it for whatever reason. Again, I still can't wrap my mind around why people hated it. If you didn't like it back in the day, or if maybe you still don't, please let me know why. To me, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a masterpiece. I mean, I know I'm gonna get roasted for saying that, but it is such a great movie. I love the movie, especially after rewatching it lately. I mean, look at this, man. You got Electro, forget Lizard. Lizard's the number 1. You got Electro, Jamie Foxx as Electro. So glad that he's back. Again, not a spoiler, it's in the trailers. But you know what? I actually like this version of Electro better. The blue variation, he looks so crazy in that. And then, of course, Gwen, Emma Stone is Gwen, which honestly, to me, she is Gwen Stacy. You know how like J.K. Simmons is basically J. Jonah Jameson, or oh gosh, what's his name? Vincent, I think Vincent something. The guy that plays Kingpin, right? The guy that plays Kingpin in the the Daredevil Netflix shows, and he just is Kingpin, right? There's certain character, or like how Robert Downey Jr. just is Iron Man. There are certain characters or certain actors and actresses that just are a character, you know what I mean? They just fit them so well, and I feel like Emma Stone fits Gwen Stacy perfectly. I feel like she's just the perfect person to play Gwen Stacy. So I really hope they would bring her back, and they honestly could, because like I said, talking about the multiverse, right? They could bring her back as SpiderGwen, right? There's this like fan art going around that's pretty cool, honestly, and I really wish that it was true. And I really hope it will come to fruition. But it's basically Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and Emma Stone's Gwen, but she's as SpiderGwen. And this is so doable. Oh gosh, we're getting into some deep territory. You know what? We're going to cover that in a different video, because this is a whole other deep topic that will probably take another 10 minutes. So let's hold that thought for a second, place it over here, and let's just say that The Amazing Spider-Man 3 needs to happen. The rumors are that apparently Sony's considering it. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's true. I'm really hoping it is. The rumor is that Sony's considering it. Fans definitely want it. It's trending everywhere. It's, bring back The Amazing Spider-Man, or make The Amazing Spider-Man 3 trending everywhere. These are great movies. Go rewatch them. Come back to the comment section here, or maybe you've rewatched them recently, and tell me exactly what you think. Do you think they were that bad, or do you think they were great movies? I think they were great. They were dark. They were dark movies, but that's just a tonal thing. It's a stylistic thing. I don't think that makes it lesser of a Spider-Man. I just think it makes it a different toned kind of Spider-Man universe, which is fine. Especially now that we have 3 different Spider-Man universes. We have Tobey Maguire's, we have Andrew Garfield's, and we have Tom Holland's. If we could have Spider-Man, if Sony is willing to crank out Spider-Man movies, maybe they don't want to bring back Tobey Maguire. I love those movies too, but that said, I still prefer The Amazing Spider-Man. I will say this. I prefer out of all, okay, first off, out of all the actors for Spider-Man, Tom Holland's great, right? Tobey Maguire, people are mixed opinions on him. I like certain elements of his version of Spider-Man as well. But my favorite actor is Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. As far as the movies go, the Amazing Spider-Man movies are also my favorite Spider-Man movies. There's just something about them. They're just really, they just hit hard, man. They hit hard. Andrew Garfield, like I said, amazing. I think the other cast members were also pretty amazing as well. Again, no pun intended. They all hit the nail on the head, in my opinion. And it sucks that people hated them. I don't know why people hated them. But now people are finding a new love for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. So maybe we're lucky enough that Sony brings the Amazing Spider-Man back with Andrew Garfield, and they start exploring some other avenues. Maybe, if we're lucky. So, I don't know. Just wanted to talk about that because honestly, I've been dying to just like rant about that, discuss it, let it out, get you guys in on the conversation. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think of these movies? What do you think of Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man? And what do you think specifically of The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2? I thought they were great movies. Honestly, I thought they were great. I would actually rate The Amazing Spider-Man 2 a solid 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. The first movie, maybe like an 8.5 out of 10. I didn't like it as much, but it was still a really good movie. But the second one was even more epic. So first one, maybe like an 8.5. Or first one 8.5, second one 9, and I definitely like them way better than Tom Holland's Spider-Man's. He's great as Spider-Man. I still want to see him do his own thing right in his universe, but I really hope Sony brings back Andrew Garfield and continues the Amazing Spider-Man series because man, oh man, I love that universe. I love it so much, and I'm glad that people are finally seeing that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is amazing, is quite amazing. Pun intended. Pun definitely intended that time. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon in another one. Stay safe. Stay well. Till then. See you guys later.